tsumeshogi and Yose problems. I will load up the first problem. Please send your solutions through private message or dark message rather than darkly type it in chat. And if you happen to be in the 81 Dojo room with me, please refrain from drawing arrows. Thank you. Hello there. Welcome to the stream. If you haven't already, please remember to register for your Twitch account. It's absolutely free. And you can also follow me and set it up so that you can see future events. I also have a YouTube channel which you might want to subscribe to. I archive a lot of my streams there because they end up getting deleted from Twitch after about 2 weeks. So there's a large corpus of study material there for you to go over, as well as analyzed games. Let's see. I can put the YouTube link in the actually in the chat. Here you go. Okay, so when looking at this position, we notice that black's king is in a threat mate. If it was white to move, he would immediately mate with this rook drop. This bishop prevents the king from running up. We can also see that white's king is very exposed. So we see this and this attacking piece. So if we begin immediately with this check, with the idea that, let's say, something like this, uh, the king can actually just escape. This bishop provides protection against attacks. That doesn't work. If we try to defend against the mating threat by dropping where the opponent wants to drop, then white can just play here, renewing the threat mate of taking here. So trying to directly defend doesn't work. This check also doesn't work after simply king takes. There's no way to continue the attack. Okay, good. So we have to somehow deal with the bishop. Also later on, let's say if the bishop weren't there, and the king's, there's this type of attack with a drop here. So that might come into play later on. So you have to find a move that deals with all of this. Ah, okay. Internet is slower than usual. I don't know if I can keep watching. Okay. Yeah, not a problem. In case you can't watch the complete stream, you can always find my videos on YouTube. I tried to archive everything there. Now let me give you a link. What's convenient about the videos is that if you figure out the problem quickly, you can always speed through the pauses. Or if you need more time, you can always pause the videos. And if you have questions, you can always leave them on, well, in the comment sections, and I try to answer all questions. Okay, I'll give another hint. If this king were on 6-2, and 4-2 dragon would lead to mate. Let me just pass a move to show you. If the king were here, then check, and mate. So since this bishop is such a good attacking piece, we have to ask ourselves if we can eliminate it with tempo. And the answer is yes. We can combine the ideas with this move. So again, if king takes, then this check here. So that means the only way for him to continue is by taking with the bishop. Then we can throw in this check. So we can eliminate the bishop with check. King here, check. And again, if the king takes, there's this check here. If here, then check and mate. Or if here, then you can just check and then mate. We can also do it this way, because after interposition, you simply take. So after you take the bishop, the king will run here. Then we can continue on with the variation with check, king over, and we have a typical Yose situation with the bishop and the gold, that 2-on-1 situation. If he had a silver, maybe he could defend a silver or bishop. Maybe he could try to defend by dropping here, but actually no, it would still be mate because you take and throw this in. No, wait. I'm sorry. I miscalculated. It takes check. Yeah, if he had a silver, he could try to defend by dropping here, but he only has a golden rook, so that doesn't work. So this is a threat mate, and we can see the idea, another defensive idea, because this bishop defends along this diagonal. So now if he checks this way and the king comes up, check. Now this won't be mate because of this. And black wins. Yeah, likewise, this would also not be mate because this is defended. So in this problem, we combined initiative, the weak king, the opponent's weak king position, and attack and defense. Yeah, and then wins. Okay, good. We can move on to the next problem. Switch to tsumeshogi this time. Let me check my dashboard really quickly. I should probably include shogi in this so people are searching. Okay. And then we'll go back to the board. Okay. In this problem, we can very easily end up in a Teijun Zengo situation. So it's very important to not only find the correct typical moves here, but also the order in which they're played. So ideas that come to mind are moves like this or this. We can eliminate 1-5 gold immediately because of this. King can still go here, and there's not enough to mate. Okay, we can also eliminate this. If check here, then the king can run up. I guess he can also take the silver. So let's look at this move. And now if the king takes, there's going to be an easy mate this way. So that means he has to capture it with the silver. Now if he promotes, then you see this promoted silver no longer protects this square, so this is mate. That means that after this silver drop, he has to take without promotion. And try to find the rest of the moves. So I shortened the problem by 2 moves. Not sure how to pronounce it, but Zaira, thank you for the follow. Okay, now we can see if we check here, after he captures, this time the silver is defending against the gold drop. So that doesn't work. We can also see that after this, if he continues on with this check, the king can escape this way. So that means that we have to first block this square, and we can do that with a sacrifice. And now this works. Mate. Okay, let's look at that again. And mate. Good. We can move on to the next problem. So here we can quickly see that there's no tsume against white's king. If there's a check like this, the king runs up. Another thing that we notice is that black's king is in tsumero. Do you see it? He is in an Anaguma, but because this lance is advanced, it creates a weakness here. And along with the strength of this promoted bishop, he threatens to mate. Let me just pass a move just to show you. This is the threat. Notice that this pawn is pinned, so the knight can't be captured, and then there'll be a mate that way. Another thing we notice is that this bishop is Jamagoma. If it weren't there, then after check, king up, then this gold would mate. So we have to combine that idea along with this idea. And if we can figure out a move that attacks and defends at the same time, black will win. Okay, so hopefully you found this idea. It's a clearance, and it also defends along this diagonal, preventing the knight drop. So if the gold takes, then there's that mate. Yeah, he also threatens this. Well, he also threatened that. Let's look at a Tejun Zengo variation. So you might ask yourself, well, doesn't this also work? The answer is no. You have to look a little bit deeper. Sure, this thing can be captured, but then now that allows this, preventing the mate. After this, the opponent's king will escape, so you have to be very careful about move order here. By doing this first, he no longer has this as a resource. All right, can move on to the next problem. It's very tempting to want to begin with some type of discovered check. And let's look at a few of them. I've checked this way. The king can always run like that. I guess he can also take here. There doesn't seem to be a mate. Also, if this, then king can escape from the check this way. And there's way too much running room on the right hand side. Well, what about this though? Well, then he's gonna have to defend like here. And the king escapes up the board. Like that. If he takes this way, then king can run here, and there's no good discoveries after that. Let's say he does something like here, and he just escapes this way. Yeah. So we have to somehow prepare the discover check before we deliver it. And it might be very difficult to play this move because this bishop looks like a very important attacking piece, but the first move is this promotion. If the king takes, then there's mate this way. And that means he'll have to capture with the token or the dragon. If he captures this way, now this discover check works. We noticed that the bishop here acted as a jama goma, preventing the rook from going to that square. Here, since it's gone, after this will be made. That leaves recapturing with the dragon. Okay. Now we have to stop him from escaping this way. So we throw in this check. If he interposes, you simply capture and mate. So that means that the only way he can escape is 2-4 king. And then now how do we finish him off? We want to force his king to 1-3. So we throw in this check, also protecting this knight here. And after captures, then there's mate this way. Okay. So we prepare our discover check and drive the king toward the edge where we can deliver mate. Okay, let's go on to the next problem. So Black's king is pretty well defended. And it seems that he has a problem because the opponent just dropped the pawn here, aiming to capture the silver next. So there's no way for the silver to retreat. So if you have to find a way to attack before he captures his vital attacking piece. So one idea that doesn't work is this. If he captures, then this would be a success for black, but white doesn't need to capture that. He can take the silver instead. So taking the gold with the idea of this doesn't work. All he has to do is capture the bishop instead. After this, white can defend this way. And this isn't good for black. Also, taking the pawn doesn't work. So in the endgame, a lot of times initiative and time are worth way more than material. Especially since black's king is so well defended. So hopefully you found this move. After he captures, then the head of his kings becomes weak. And it looks like he might be able to escape, but after this check, the situation is winning for black. He threatens some drop on a2 and also on 6-2, because after the silver captures, then there'll be a mate on 7-2 or 8 or 7-2. If the king tries to escape this way, then there's mate here. Yeah, this is winning. If he tries to defend against a rank like this, then after this check, he's going to have to interpose with something, and it'll end up blocking the rook. What happens if he goes the other way, though? Yeah, there might be some in their body, but it still looks pretty strong. If the silver takes, then there's this mate here. If gold, oh, sorry, if rook takes, think he's just going to bust through like this. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back. So we have to strike while the iron's hot. Can't simply allow him to capture the silver. So initiative is king here, and we shouldn't shy away from sacrificing material. And then wins. Okay, we can go on to the next problem. So you see, if we start off with a check like this, the king can run up the board. And if he tries to continue like this, after the interposition, there's no way to continue. If the rook takes, then the lance will recapture. If the horse takes, then the king runs up. There isn't any mate. Yeah, no mate. If this, then king runs this way. If this, then the king can go that way. Yeah, no mate. This check also doesn't work because the king will run here. If he captures, then this check will work. Or doesn't it? Oh wait, the king will go that way. If this, then this. So that means the king has to take. And then there's going to be no mate. Interpose with something that this isn't mate because of that. Okay, so hopefully you found this move. If the king runs this way, then easy mate. Like this. So that means that the lance must capture. Okay, then we throw in this check. If the king runs up, then that's mate. So he has to go here. And then the final move, check. If the lance takes, or the horse, then this. If king takes, then here. Okay, let's look at that again. And final tsume. Mate. Okay, let's go on to the next move, the next problem. What file? Okay, so we start out by checking to see if we have a tsume, and answer is no. This is the king running up like that. What about the situation of black's king? We can see that there's no threat made against him. So that means that black has, if he can play a Yose, or some type of a threat mate, he's going to be winning this attacking race. Okay, if we try to place a piece, let's say here, threatening this mate, with the idea that if he captures, then it blocks the escape square. Unfortunately, this fails to 6-5 bishop, not only defending this 8-3 square, but also threatening mate by taking the gold. So that doesn't work. Dropping the lance here is not tsumero. So after this simple capture, black is losing the attacking race. Very important to look at the defensive resources of the opponent. Okay, so the correct move is this knight drop instead of the lance. So again, if captures, then this is mate. But the other idea behind this is to promote the knight next and force the king down, and then affect mate that way on a2. See, no time for this. And mate. Okay. And mate. Okay, good. Let's go to the last problem of today. Ah, hi. 6-1 bishop. Yeah, make sure you calculate everything. We can take a look at that suggestion. 6-1 bishop. King will run here. And there's no way to continue. Check this way. And if here, no mate, king goes this way. So 6-1 bishop doesn't work. Checks like this or this also don't work because of simple interpositions. So you begin with a tsuji. And looking at this, we see that the pawn and the knight form a, kind of like a wall. That's very important in the mating sequence. Now the rook looks like it's going to be a really strong attacking piece, but oh, well, if we take the silver, king's going to recapture. Then how do you follow up? Maybe like this, but he's going to recapture. Not enough. Oh wait, yeah, king goes here. Not enough. Knight defends the square. I guess he can also run this way. Okay, so what we want to do is make a situation where white's pieces are blocking in his own king. And although the rook seems to be a strong attacking piece, its main purpose in the situation is to form that kind of shape. So we do that by this tsume. Now the rook has to be taken because this isn't made. Also, if there's like some blocking move, then here. And that leaves this. Now it's all about the bishops. So in this check, if king runs here, The bishop covers these squares, so that will be mate. If he captures here, gold to the head of the king, it means he'll have to run here, threatening to run up next. And then the other bishop comes into play that way, and after captures, mate here. Or if down here, then look, the opponent's own pieces are blocking in his king. Who needs enemies when you have friends like that, right? Okay, so we make that shape. And then it's all about the bishops. Okay. Alright, that's it for today. If you haven't already done so, please register your Twitch account. You can do that for free and give me a follow. You can also set it up so that you can see my event schedule, and so you can find out the next time I'm on. I don't always have a regular schedule for streaming, but I do try to stream at least once a week. And if you enjoyed the stream, please consider supporting it through donations. They aren't necessary, but are very welcome. That's the link for the Streamlabs in case you want to do that. But thank you for joining me today, and I will see you guys all next time. Thank you. Bye.